derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derp
Welcome to another episode of Let Us Cast. I am Andrew. With me, as always, is Bruce.
Hey, man. How the hell are you?
Doing good, man. So you rocking that Nightmare Before Christmas shirt? Fucking
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So Steph and I actually got matching t-shirts the other day because we're all cute and shit.
You guys are horrible.
Oh. Yeah. So she got one with, so that basically, you know, this one has Jack, and I don't know if you can see it, but he's doing half of a heart, and then she has the Sally one where she's doing the other half of the heart. Because we're goobers.
Yes, you are. That goes without saying. But...
Oh, and she got her book the other day, and thank you.
All right. Yeah, you kind of gave me a heart attack on that one, man. I thought it wasn't like delivered or like somebody stole it off your porch. Shit.
It gave me a heart attack too, honestly. And this is I told you, this isn't the first time that's happened where like Amazon has told me that they delivered something and like they mark it as delivered and then it didn't show up and I'm like, what the fuck? And then eventually it shows up and I'm like, oh, okay, no harm, no foul. But like this time you're like, no, dude, I got a picture that shows it was on your porch. I'm like, oh, okay, that's new. I guess I better go check. So I had to go walk around in the front of the house and yeah, they don't usually deliver there. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but, you know, I guess since I didn't put the instructions like, hey, move it to the side of the building or whatever.
I don't do that, though. Like, on my stuff, I don't put any special instructions or anything. They just somehow know. I guess it depends on the driver, maybe, because, like, I've never put that kind of special instruction on.
I mean, maybe, but I know the last time I was at your place, and correct me if I'm wrong, there was a sign on there that says, hey, for all package deliveries or mail, like, go around to the side.
Maybe. I don't remember, dude.
Trying to make me question, why is there a door on the front of your place?
Yeah, you know, it's funny, because I went to do laundry today, and I walked past there, and I was like, why are those doors there? Like, do people actually use those? Like... And it fucks with delivery drivers all the time, not just like for packages, but like when we order food, they're always like, I'm at your house, I don't know where to go. And we're just like, go around. They're like, what? It's like, never mind, I'll come meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, cause like Steph ordered food last night for her and Kimmy, and like, they're like, we're here. We don't know where you are, but we're here. And it's like, I'll help you.
Come in the house. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But correct me if I'm wrong. I've sworn that there was a fucking sign on like the front door that said basically like, "Hey, package deliveries go around to the side" or whatever have you.
That's the thing. I never go to the front, so I don't know. I mean, it could be there, but I'll have to go check. I'll go check after the podcast because I don't. Let me go check now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, go check now. We can wait.
We can wait.
We can wait.
Oh, man. How was your nap? I know you had a nap. Because you texted me accidentally to say that you were going to go back to sleep. So now I know what you've been up to.
Yeah, well, I know what you've been up to.
Like what?
Santa and Jesus are frowning on you, sir.
Santa and Jesus.
Sinner. No, man, nap was good. I got maybe a half hour because it was one of those things like.
That's it.
I woke up early in the morning. Well, no, because I woke up early in the morning because I was like, all right, well, I gotta go get my fucking tires rotated and balanced, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't sleep really well last night. The appointment's at 9. I get there at like 9:05, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna wait for your car? Are you gonna come back?" Or I was like, "Nah, fuck it, man. It shouldn't take that long. Well, I'll wait for it. I'm thinking it's gonna take like maybe an hour." I ended up sitting in their waiting room for about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Oh shit!
And I'm just like, what the fuck, man?
That sucks.
Yeah. And thankfully it wasn't expensive at all, so I was like, all right, well, I guess that's a win right there. But
yeah. I'm sorry if you notice me being distracted. There's a fly buzzing around this fucking house that I thought Yule took care of, but Apparently, she's like looking for a pay increase or something because she's not doing her fucking job, and now there's a fly buzzing around here and stuff. So,
God damn it, Yule.
God damn it, pull your
You'll
weight.
get this. You'll get this, whether you like it or not.
Oh gosh. And
I
thus
know,
the
I'm
puns
just full of
began.
Oh,
I think you just heard her going for it. Nice. Anyway.
good kitty.
Yeah. Dude, that's a long time to wait for an appointment. I mean, I know you were 5 minutes late, but still, like, the fact that you had to... So you didn't get done until... Or you didn't actually get seen until, what, like 10:30 or so?
No. So they took my car. I got there at about 9:05.
Oh.
They took the car in at maybe like 9:15-ish.
Gotcha.
When the mechanic was ready for it. Yeah, they bring it around. And I didn't leave until about 11 o'clock.
That's not horrible.
That's not
Although,
horrible,
like, it
but
would
it's
have been
like-
nice if you had something to do in the meantime. Bring a book or something.
Yeah. But it's just two things. Number one, anytime you go to a mechanic, they always have something shitty on the TV. I get, you know, you don't want to put news or fucking like political shit on or whatever. It's divisive enough. All right, fine. I got you. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Throw some fucking cartoons on there. Bring in the DVD player and throw a fucking movie on.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Like, how expensive is a DVD player to just slap something up there?
Yeah, I mean, shit. You can just even get like a fucking Roku, plug it into the TV, and like throw on like a TV show, like a Chicago Fire or something. You know?
Anything.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, they didn't do that. They didn't do that.
No.
No.
What's the other
Good
thing?
for that.
What's the other thing? Because you said two things. One, they never have anything good planned.
And two, I should have brought my fucking headphones with me so I could have at least like started watching a movie or something like that. But I also figure like, I'm not gonna be here that long. Whatever, just scroll Facebook, Twitter for a little bit, and fucking I'll be done before I know it. No.
No. No.
No.
Oh, that sucks, man.
It does suck, but you know what, man? It's like, all right, well, what the fuck am I gonna do? It's, you know, it wasn't expensive, so I'm just like, you know, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna really bitch about it?
Did you have was there a reason that you brought it in to get balanced and rotated and all that? Like, were you noticing like something was wrong, or were you just like, it's time? It's time.
Oh,
It's tire rotation time.
Leon White is brave, sir.
So, okay, people have disappointed so far. Santa, Jesus, you, Leon White. We got a running tally, man.
Just gonna write a song to all the girls that I've lost, to all the people I've disappointed.
Oh,
No, what was I saying?
I asked you why you
maybe it
brought.
was
Like,
the
was there a
right,
reason
right.
for it, or just?
Yeah, so it was one of those things like you know how like sometimes you take your hands like off the steering wheel, it's to kind of like test like, you know, if the car is drifting to the side or something like that.
Yeah.
I noticed my car would kind of drift a little bit to the right and whatnot. I'm like, I don't even remember the last time I got, you know, my wheels balanced or my tires rotated for that matter. So I'm like, oh, I guess it's fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah, but
So
well,
it was
that would be like an align. Did you get an alignment done too? Is that what you mean by balanced?
No, balanced meaning like they get like the weight is more evenly distributed on the tires, from what I understand.
Oh, okay.
There's probably going to be a panic in the comment section going, "You fat dumb fuck! It's not what it is."
You don't know
This.
shit about tires.
List of people Andrew's disappointed.
Mechanics. If you're counting at home, it's 4-1.
Bruce is still in the lead.
I'm always in the lead when it comes to disappointment, sir. I'm always in the lead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Fucking. There's been a lot going on recently too. Like, I don't know if I told you, I finally was able to get a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, well, you told
For
me you
reasonable
bought one, but
fuck-
did you actually get it yet, or like?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Yes, I. And it kind of took me back to, like when I was when I was like 16. Because like back then like 16, you're like learning how to drive, and you're like, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna have a car. I'm gonna have independence. And you finally get the car, and you're like, oh fuck! And now I gotta pay for insurance. I gotta pay to register the thing. I gotta pay for fucking gas. Oh shit! I need new tires. Blah blah. Because it's like, all right, if I want to get like a new controller for this fucking thing, it's $75,
Holy crap, dude.
like for a brand new controller.
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
And that's if I want it. That's if I want it in a color. If I want it just white or black, it's 70.
That's still crazy.
There's like panels on it that you can like take off, and you can replace them with like colored ones. If I want to do that, it's $50. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, I don't need this thing to be all fucking like. It's not a chandelier. I don't need it to be fucking bedazzled. I need it to play video games. That's it.
Oh man. What games have you gotten for it so far?
So far, I've gotten the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection, which has the original arcade game and Turtles in Time on it, both versions, that and the Super Nintendo.
Nice.
A whole bunch of other ones. I remember like the Game Boy ones we used to play when we were kids, the original Nintendo. That pain in the ass.
How is it so far?
So far, it's good. So I bought that, and I bought Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is basically the Final Fantasy VII game that I had you playing.
Oh, right on.
But there's like another like story to it. And I'm like, oh, it's updated graphics. Huzzah!
I can't help but notice that like the shit that you're playing is stuff that like so far you got like the Ninja Turtles stuff, which like you could probably play in an emulator. Like I love how you spent like all this money on a PS5 and you're playing all this old shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's, I don't know, it's just kind of funny. Like I got the Turtles arcade game, I got Turtles in Time, I got Turtles for NES. It's like you just bought like brand new state of the art technology and you're playing 8-bit crap, man. Like what the fuck are you doing? Not crap. I mean, those are good games, but still, like, what the fuck are you doing?
I was gonna say, this coming from the motherfucker that's like, hey, I got a PlayStation 2 and a Nintendo 64. You want them?
Well, hey man, N64, 64-bits, son.
But you know,
What do you know?
it's more bits, and you
Therefore
can
better.
go. You can play a game and have no mercy, and you can have Stone Cold, Stunning, and 64 bits. And
You're also gonna get like my saves and stuff. So you'll get like, so one of the things I did was I at the time like Barack Obama was running against, I think it was I forget who it was, but like, huh?
Assuming
What's up?
the Sarah Palin years.
I think so, maybe. But anyway, I made, so you can customize characters and stuff like that. So one of the things what I did was I took one of the Rock's skins and made it Barack Obama. And I took someone else and made like Joe Biden, and I took someone else and made like, so I made like a couple political combatants as well for the hell of it.
So you made the Rock Obama?
Barack Obama, yeah. Do you smell what Barack is cooking?
Saturday Night Live would like a word with you, sir.
I think I did it before Saturday Night Live, sir.
Yeah, but they have the
ago.
Rock's number, right? They have the Rock's number, and I'm pretty sure the Rock could kick your ass.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. That guy's bicep is as big as my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would destroy me. And he would do it with a smile on his face.
Maybe singing a song.
It's at the end of Jabroni Drive at Smackdown Hotel.
Just have Mick Foley showing up in the leather mask like, Bruce Gates, this is your death!
Oh, man.
You like that kick in the head, Bruce? Does that remind you what happened in 7th grade? You did that to somebody who was picking on you. Good job, by the way.
No, I was always the one getting my ass kicked, not the other way around. And I didn't really get into fights after like 5th grade.
I did.
I know you did.
Sixth grade, 8th grade were like the golden years of fighting, I guess.
Prime fight years.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Fucking like I think it was like 6th grade. It was pretty much like once a month my parents were gonna call like, yeah, he's been in another fight. Yep, he's suspended. Yep, come and get him.
Oh jeez, man.
I don't know, man. That the kind of like it pissed me off back in the day too, because I was like, all right, you guys are focusing on like me just fighting. You're not focusing on why. You're not focusing on why I'm fighting.
Yeah.
And anytime they ask, you know, like, hey, these guys are picking on me. They will not leave me alone. Oh, just ignore them. That's how this started. You're not paying attention.
Yeah, that's obnoxious.
Like, man, so like I've always said, man, if I have a kid, I'm gonna do like the D. Snyder method of raising them up, because like if there's like a bully that's picking on them, I'd say, look, if they put their hands on you, yeah, we'll go to the school, we'll pick you up, deal with the suspension, whatever fucking have you. But then we're gonna go to the toy store and we're gonna get that toy that you wanted. Right? But this has to be self-defense. This cannot be like you just want this toy so badly you're just gonna go kick this person's ass.
Yeah, that was always the same thing with my mom too. Like I remember there was a day where I missed school and I feigned a stomach ache or something because this kid Anthony would just keep beating the shit out of me like every day, him and his friend Brian. And like there was one day where I pretended to have a stomach ache so I wouldn't have to go to school to get my ass kicked again. And so my mom caught on to it and she was like, "What's the deal here?" And I was like, "Well, okay." And I fessed up. I was like, "You know, this kid keeps kicking my ass every day, blah blah blah." She's like, "Well, I don't want you starting fights, but if it's in self-defense, if someone starts, you know, hitting you or whatever, like hit them back." So like that day I go into school, or a couple days, whatever, like I go into school and Anthony comes up and starts shit with me and I gave him the sweet chin music right to his face and he started bleeding and like I remember like his dad ended up calling my mom and was like, "Your son kicked my son in the face and made him bleed and shit." And she's like, "Well, your son's been beating the shit out of my son for the better part of a couple months, so eat shit," basically. And that was kind of it. I never got fucked with again. So
Was that your first fight?
no, that was like the first time that I like fought back though. But I would get my ass kicked. I mean, in the sense of like me actually hitting somebody back, yes. But in terms of like me getting my ass kicked, far from. Yeah.
No, trying to the first one you never forget. So I'm on the school bus going to school. I forget this. I think this kid's name was like Chuck or something like that. I can't fucking remember his name, but I was just in a mood where like I'm just like staring out the window. I just want to get to fucking school, just get the goddamn day done, and then just go back to bed. Like this was depression, and I didn't even know it was. Where it's just like I have no desire to get up. I have no desire to do anything. Like if my friends call and guys, I'm gonna pass. It's amazing what you learn after you get older. Anyway, this kid's like he's trying to talk to me. I'm just ignoring him. Next thing I know, I feel a hand at the back of my head and shoves me right into the fucking window.
Ooh.
And like, dude, I just snapped. Just turned around, just started beating the living fuck out of him. I get dragged off the bus by the bus driver into the principal's office. I'm like, he fucking started it.
And did you get in
I
trouble?
got suspended for a day.
What about the other kids?
Yeah, I got
get
suspended
in trouble?
for a day. Apparently, he got suspended too.
Well, good. At least you both got. But I mean,
like,
but for you to get suspended is kind of bullshit because you were just sort of like acting back against something that happened to you.
Yeah, like they put their fucking hands on me. And you're saying, well, you need to tell us about this and whatnot. And anytime I did, they were just like, "Oh, don't be so sensitive," or you know, just ignore them. They're just trying to get your attention. It's like, well, this motherfucker wanted my attention. He got it.
And the thing with like ignoring it is like that only goes so far, you know, like depending on the age too. But some kids, man, they'll just keep pushing buttons until they find one that you react to.
Yeah, because like they know what you're doing. Like they think like, oh, if he ignores us, he thinks we're gonna go away. Like that's not fucking happening.
Right, right. Like let's test that theory.
And it's and it's like I want to. The mindset of the bully is I want to destroy this person. Like I want to break their fucking psyche, and just prove to them how much more dominant over them that I am.
Yeah.
And for really no fucking reason at all, because it's like, dude, we're in fucking middle school right now. Like, you know, what dominance do you need to fucking assert here?
Right. Seriously.
Like, I'm sorry. Are you going? Is there some promotion that I don't fucking know about?
What are you proving here exactly?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you trying to prove?
Yeah.
But no, as far as I know, we both got suspended for a day. And I'm like, well, this is fucking stupid.
I mean, the thing is, like, if you fight back, I guess it makes sense they're gonna suspend you too, but it does suck.
It does suck, but it's like, you know, they didn't want to look at the cause of the fight. They were just like, okay, both of you fought. You're both suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're both getting equal time. Well, okay, this guy started this shit. Like, he put his hands on me, and you want me to just ignore it?
Well, that's because it takes far less work for them to just, you know, to give you both a punishment than to look into it and punish accordingly. It's way easier to just be like, well, you both fucked up, you both get punished. You know, that's a lot easier to do. So that's the solution they go to.
Yeah, and then when something like fucking horrific happens, like a student snaps and just starts beating the shit out of like everybody, like, oh, we don't know what caused this. You know, what's going on with this? And it's like, he told you, like, this student told you numerous times he was getting bullied,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, oh, just ignore it. Oh, don't worry, it's fine. If something happens, come and tell us. Like, well, I'm telling you now. What are you doing now? Oh, just ignore them. It's, I tell you, man, fucking. That was why I hated school when I was a kid. Just not because like I was like a bad student, like I was a C student at best.
Mm-hmm.
But I hated like the other students because like in middle school it was like if I wasn't fighting, like there were girls that were fucking bullying me too, man. They're like, oh, what are you looking at my friend for? You think she's cute, huh? I'm like, yeah, I think she's cute, but what does that have to do with anything? Yeah, and it's just further like driving it. Like, I don't care what anybody says, man. Girls can be fucking just as fucking vicious, man.
Oh,
if
yeah.
not more so.
Especially to each other, man. Girls can be outright freaking horrendous to each other.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's I'm actually kind of surprised there aren't more like female horror icons. So I'm like, well, shit, man. Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
Like, this is a lot more believable now. Like, I know they're remaking what's that movie? Hellraiser, I think, where it's like gender swapped. Like, Pinhead's gonna be gender swapped.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, you know what, man? I can buy that.
Yeah, I could get into that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Michelle Myers.
Yeah. Justine Voorhees.
A lot of people get like butthurt about that kind of stuff, about like gender swaps or like when people change races for stuff, and it's just like, I don't give a shit. It puts a new and interesting spin on things. Like, do you really want to see the same thing over? Like, if they're gonna like, let's take Jason Voorhees. Like, do you really want to see another Jason movie that's probably going to be done poorly? Like, if you're gonna do that, at least, you know, change something. Make it a chick. Why not? Instead of doing the same old tired shit over and over again, do something different. Like, I don't know. People tend to get butthurt about that. I mean, a little less so today, where people are a little bit more like, I don't know, accepting of that kind of thing. But
yeah, like my thing is like, look, I don't care. Like, if they're like, hey, we're gonna make, you know, a Superman movie where Superman is like Asian American, Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, will I still see it? Yeah, I'm a Superman fan. The thing that's going to matter to me is if the story works. It's like
Yeah.
I'm paying money to see a story play out, and I want it to be entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want this to be, you know, pay a ticket to see a story and it's fucking Batman and Robin or Batman Forever. Or
Holy rusted metal Batman. What? It's metal, it's rusted, and it's full of holes.
like, oh.
Yeah.
World's greatest detective. Couldn't figure that.
Well, thank you, Robin.
World's greatest detective couldn't figure that out.
Needed a boy to figure that out for him.
Yeah.
Although that Robin is not doesn't come. I mean, he comes across as younger than Batman, but not like the actual Robin. Anyway,
No,
I'm gonna get off my high horse before I even get on it.
No. Come on, man. You got some gripes about Batman movies? Fucking spill them, sir.
Well, like they've never done Robin right. Never once. Like it's always been like a dude who's pretty much like similar in age, maybe a little bit young. Maybe let's like okay. Realistically, Chris O'Donnell is roughly 10 years at most younger than Clooney or Kilmer. Like, I'm sorry, that doesn't cut the mustard.
Okay, so first off, I'm gonna need you to shut your noise hole right now. Robin has been done right
In a movie?
They're not in a movie, but
okay, well that's what I said. It's in a movie, you fucker.
Okay, well, fucker. Well, fucker, I'm going to need you to shut your dick holster and go watch that show Titans because they got Robin right, motherfucker.
Yeah, but that's a TV show. But I said they haven't done it in a movie. If you were paying attention, good sir, you would have heard that I said in a movie, sir.
I'm sorry, I stopped listening.
I know. That was apparent. Welcome to 5 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
I'm sorry, I stopped listening. Fucking fascist. Robin has been done well in some instances. Like you said, the Teen Titans. Cool. Right on. But
yes, the Titans live action show. Done very well there.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, otherwise, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, think about like the Batman TV show, like from the 60s, you know? He was younger than Batman, but still not like, you know, it's not the way that it's sort of like Peter Parker. A lot of people forget that Peter Parker's supposed to be a high school teenager. And so when you see someone like Tobey Maguire, who looks like he's in like college at the youngest, it's like, that's not fucking Peter Parker. It's like, well, no. Or like Andrew Garfield, like kind of passable, but I still think that Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man because he looks like he could be a high schooler, you know? No offense to Tom Holland, like, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, okay, well, he's got that look.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, he fucking nails it. He absolutely nails it. However, in Burt Ward's defense, really didn't have much material to go on back in the 60s for a Batman TV show. And considering the Batman comics, like, they got you know, revived essentially because of the TV show's popularity.
That's
like, people
true.
started buying Batman comics more.
And that's also true.
Yeah. But really, Robin apparently was just added so like Batman would have somebody to talk to and explain things to, so it wasn't like looking crazy, like talking to himself.
So he could bat-splain?
Yeah.
Listen,
just so he can explain.
Let me explain the plot to you.
Robin just smacks him. He's like, "Don't bat-splain things to me, old man."
yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Like, I have a working brain too. I wouldn't be here if you didn't think I had that. Piece of shit.
Holy bat-splaining, Batman! Knock it off!
But I would like to see them come out with another like here's the thing, man. Okay, so your ultimate, like, your favorite superhero though is Spider-Man, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay. Now, if they came out with like a like that Gwen Stacy Spider-Man, the Spider Ghost Spider, whatever it is, if they came out with a movie like that, would you watch it?
Yeah.
So would I.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I say that having been the kind of person who hasn't seen the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, but
You're fine.
and I'm also a Spider-Man fan who hasn't seen Into the Spider-Verse yet, which I know is like that's worthy of a death sentence as a Spider-Man.
You need to
fan.
watch that tonight.
Is it on Paramount or something?
No, I have it on my Vudu account. You have you're connected with that, so I can go nuts.
Oh, okay, right on. Maybe I'll check that out tonight.
Yeah,
I watched Sonic 2. I did watch Sonic 2.
Oh boy, here's the review for it.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. Didn't like it. Not nearly as much as 1.
Okay, so before you get into the negative aspects of it, was there anything positive?
Oh hell yeah!
From Sonic 2.
Oh hell yeah! I thought Knuckles was amazing, and Tails was done very well. And the plane, they threw the plane in there, and I was like, oh, the plane!
The tornado, yes.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, they did play the games. Although I was still kind of waiting for a casino scene, but that's beside the point.
I mean, yeah, but it also kind of like begged the question too of like, all right, Sonic has showed us he can run up buildings, he can run over water and shit. The fuck does he need a plane for?
That's a good point.
Like he was on the island with Knuckles and whatnot. Like he could have just been like, all right, fuck this, done.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
He's got to wait for Tails to fly by with a propeller plane of all things. Like, presumably land, wait for them to get on the plane, and then do a running takeoff again.
Yeah.
Like, it takes like a good 5 fucking minutes. Like, unless he's able to jump really high, or both of them are able to jump real high. Ain't Sonic and Knuckles, pronoun pal. Unless they are able to unless Sonic and Knuckles are able to jump really high and grab onto the plane as it's flying fucking by, that's gonna waste about 5 minutes.
Yeah. No, I thought Knuckles was done really well, and I loved I don't know who did the voice, but I wasn't sure what to think. Mm-hmm.
For Knuckles?
Yeah.
That's Idris Elba.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I wasn't sure what to expect as far as his voice goes, but it was perfect. The only thing I didn't like about it is that they kind of made him an idiot in some respects, and I'm like, I don't know if I really dig that. But for the most part, 90% of Knuckles, I was down with. Tails was great, I thought, and the whole device that he had, and the fact that sometimes it would malfunction and stuff, cool. Yeah. I'm good with all that. The things that I didn't like about it were Jim Carrey was just too much for me. And the other thing is the humor in general, Jim Carrey aside, was just, I don't know, fucking stupid. I didn't find myself laughing once at anything in the movie.
Yeah.
And there was a dance off. I'm like, that alone should be the review. There was a dance off. Enough said. Why is there a dance off in a Sonic movie? You know what I mean? What are we making Parappa the video game? What the fuck is going on here? There's a deep cut for you.
Dude, don't encourage them. That could be an Easter egg in the third one. Don't encourage them.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's going to be a third one. There kind of has to be.
Well, no, not only is there going to be a third one, there's going to be a TV show spin-off on Paramount Plus based on Knuckles.
I want to know what's going to happen though. Since Jim Carrey is retired or is supposed to be retired, are they just not going to have Eggman in the third one?
No, they're not going to have Eggman in the third one. They're just going to have Shadow the Hedgehog. Spoilers.
No, not really a spoiler because they showed him at the end.
Well, yeah, I'm saying spoilers for anybody who hasn't fucking seen it.
Oh, well, true.
Which, if you haven't seen it, first of all, shame on you. But yeah, I agree with the whole dance-off thing. Like the Jim Carrey criticism, I can't really agree with, just because like he was pretty much the same in the first movie. Like he was still like that highly cocky, arrogant motherfucker, piece of shit, psychotic guy. It comes back to the sequel is the same thing. It's like, well, what do you want him to do in the sequel?
Well, I think he was just like he was that, but like turned up a few notches. And I remember like when we were texting about it, you were like, "Yeah, but he spent all that time on the mushroom planet." Like, yeah, I get all that, but like, I don't know. I still felt like it was just a little too much. And I mean, Jim Carrey is known for being a bit of an overactor, so I just think he took it just a little too far, just a little, just a wee bit. Could have just toned it back just a wee bit. And I don't think it was honestly like. I don't even know if it was necessarily his fault. I just think it was the writers. I think because the humor in general was just bad, just real bad. So I don't even necessarily think. I think if I were to go back and watch it, knowing that the humor in general is kind of shitty, I don't think I'd have the same complaint about Jim Carrey. Honestly, because I don't think it was his fault. I think he was just working with a bad script. I really do. Because some of the stuff that people would say, I'd just be like, oh, jeez, man, what the fuck.
Yeah, like my problem with it was pretty much filmed like back to back with the first one, which is how they got Jim Carrey involved, because he's like, sometimes they'll wait like 2 years to film the sequel, and this one we just pretty much went like back to back, so I was able to stay in character easier. And like, okay, that's great, but I'd rather have you guys take that extra time to get everything right.
Yeah. I just think the writing wasn't as good on this movie. That's just my opinion. Is that like I said, I didn't find myself laughing at all. Whereas the first one, I actually, was kind of chuckling along, and it entertained. I mean, the second one entertained me. I just didn't like get much of a chuckle out of it, and it seemed like it was trying too hard to be funny. The first one didn't seem like it was trying to be funny. It was just trying to be a decent Sonic movie.
You know what it seems like, man? It's pretty much like that saying in music, like if you have a band, like you have your entire lifetime to write your first album, and you have like 6 months to write your second one.
Yeah.
That's what this felt like.
Yeah. The sophomore effort is always a bit of a problem.
Yeah. Just a bit.
I would love to see like a Knuckles standalone flick. I know that's kind of like, how would you even go about that? Because Knuckles is not, I mean, it's a big character, but not like a huge character. You know what I mean? So you kind of have that problem of like, what would you do with him? But Knuckles has always been my favorite Sonic character. As soon as Sonic and Knuckles came out, I was just like he can climb walls with his fists. That's fucking bad. And he can do the glide thing. Like, that's badass, man.
No, I mean, you're getting a TV show on him, so I mean,
I'll take it.
Well, I mean, the good thing about having like the miniseries though is that like you have more time to develop the character. Whereas like if you put him in like a Knuckles movie, you've got like what, an hour and a half to try and develop his character.
Yeah.
This one you've got like maybe, I don't know, let's say 8 to 10 episodes, half-hour piece. You got a little more time.
I do like how the movie had him, do his turn, so to speak, to use wrestling lingo. Because Knuckles did start off as a heel and turned face, right? That's canon. So the way they handled that, I thought, was very well done. And it made sense. It wasn't just like, fuck you, Robotnik, out of the blue, No, it made sense, Wait a minute, he lied to me about this shit. And look, he's a greedy motherfucker. Fuck him. I'm gonna shove my knuckles up his ass.
I would have paid to see that version of the movie. Knuckles fisting Robotnik. I would have paid to see that so badly.
To the point where the mustache falls off again.
The mustache just falls off. Jim Carrey just goes through his entire character library. Like the
T-1000 at the end of T2.
Yes.
Yeah. Smoking. Alrighty then. Oh no, he's glitching.
You might want to stop. I don't think he can take much more. Nonsense. He can keep going.
Oh man.
All right, so that's a movie I want to see. I want to see Knuckles fisting Robotnik. That'd be funny as fucking hell.
The director's cut. Of Sonic
Director's
2.
cut.
The director's fist.
Like, see that I would pay $15 to see that movie.
Just call it
Fucking price is going
Knuckles.
up everywhere, man.
Knuckles, fistful of Eggman. Egg fist.
You see Knuckles fisting him the entire time.
Yeah.
Sonic's just in the corner, like tapping his foot impatiently, like good fucking
Yeah.
God, we're actually doing this.
Just an hour and a half of just. Oh my god.
Sonic, are you sure you don't want to turn? Nah, I'm good, man. You just see him playing Sonic 2 on Sega Genesis.
Yeah, with Tails.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Who did the voice of Tails, by the way? Because they did really well too. Like the casting was really well done, I think.
That was Colleen Shaughnessy,
Right on.
who actually does the voice of Tails in the video games.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. That's pretty awesome.
No, you didn't know that.
I did not know
But I
that.
bet. You know what else you didn't know? She's going to be at Rhode Island Comic Con, so you can tell her what a good job she did in person.
Oh my gosh. I don't think Knuckles had a voice in any of the video. Well, I don't know, because I only went up to like Sonic and Knuckles. After that, I kind of tuned out. Did he have a voice in any of the subsequent games?
I mean, eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, eventually he did have a voice and whatnot. It wasn't anything like Idris Elba's voice, but I was like, you know what? That voice fucking works.
I think it fit very well.
Yeah.
I generally speaking, I liked the characterization of Knuckles. I just didn't like the fact that they made him kind of an idiot. That was the one thing I was like, ugh. I mean, he has to have a weakness, but...
Yeah, I mean, he has to have a weakness, but, like, the way Idris Elba described it, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, that makes sense. He basically said, like, look, you know, Knuckles had this tribe pretty much wiped out by the owls, and he was so focused on training, like, he didn't care about having, like, a formal education. He was just focused on fighting 24/7. So, like, if you throw a pun at him, like, he's just like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't get the joke. You know, he's almost like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
A lot of people are making that comparison, yeah.
I'd watch that movie too.
Guardians of the Knuckles Galaxy.
Guardians of Robotnik Sanus.
Oh gosh.
Why not? Let's have a tie-in with all three of them.
The one thing that they haven't like done in the Sonic movies is like one of the main things about Robotnik is that he takes animals and turns them into robots, and they haven't really addressed that. I mean, not like it's a big thing or whatever, but it is kind of like central to the Eggman character, and it's kind of interesting that they haven't touched upon it at all. Because I think about when you end a level in Sonic, you press the plunger, and then all the animals escape and shit, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, it's a lot easier to do that. Well, it's a lot easier to do that for a video game than it is for a movie because, you know, with a video game, you don't have to deal with the fucking PETA people.
Bullshit. It's not like you're harming them, you're saving them, first of all. And I thought you were going to be like, practically, it's like, bullshit, CGI.
Well, true. Yeah, you can do CGI, but I mean, that first shot that we gave him with Sonic, I mean, holy Christ, dude, that was like nightmare fuel. It's like, do you really want to trust him? Do you really want to trust him with making CGI birds and squirrels and shit?
Yeah, why not? Hey, they made it. They finally made a decent CGI Sonic and Knuckles and Tails. Like those are fictional characters. Fictional characters. They could do birds and bears
you
and
see
rhinos and shit.
Did you see what Sonic looked like beforehand?
Yes, he had teeth. It was frightening.
Yes, and they had to push the movie back 3 months so that they could get it right.
I know. I still wonder about that whole conspiracy though, about like they did that on purpose to get like, I don't know, because to be fair, like 3 months is a pretty quick turnaround to fix an entire movie.
No, I mean,
Unless they had people literally working like around the clock to fix that shit, which maybe they did.
I would assume they would have. Like, I'm assuming they still used like the base model and whatnot, and just made like the tweaks like wherever they needed to. So I don't think it was that like. It's not like, oh, we got to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Like, no, you know, you're fine.
Well, no, obviously they didn't have to start all over, but like that's still a lot of work. I mean, Sonic is like obviously in a lot of shots. I mean, he's the star of the show, so
Yeah.
even replacing, because I mean it wasn't just his face either, like his body too, because I remember like they made him sort of like slimmer because they wanted to make him look more human or something like that.
Yeah, they're like, well, we want to make him like a humanoid, but we want to make it realistic. It's like, well, what's realistic about a humanoid fucking hedgehog?
Right. What is realistic about any of this? Why are we?
Yeah, like you're talking about an anthropomorphic hedgehog from another fucking dimension coming to our world. That is the story that you're telling. There is no need for realism here.
Seriously. You know what I gotta say? Something still chaps my ass every time there's CGI in a movie. Because, like, I go back and I watch T2. Like, to this day, I still go back every once in a while and I'll watch, like, behind-the-scenes stuff on T2. T2, in my opinion, is, like, hands down, one of the best movies, if not the best movie ever.
That is as close to a perfect movie as you can get.
Yes, and me personally, like, I'm the kind of nerd, I'll go back and watch, like, the extended cut that has all, like, the shit that they took. Like, there's a great scene where the T-1000 is starting to break down, and it's at, like, the mill. What is it? Not a mill. It's the processing plant or whatever at the end. The steel mill?
Yeah, it's a steel mill.
Steel mill at the end there. And he's walking by this, like, there's, like, this pole coming out of the ground that's, like, you know, that black and yellow thing? And his fingers...
he grabs onto it and that pattern, and he just kind of, like, shakes it off.
And he shakes it off. Yeah, and they
Yeah.
were doing shit basically just to show off, like, what they could do. But I love watching all that shit because it still holds up today. It's better than stuff that we released today. You know, like, not, like, watching Sonic 2, like, it was good, but, like, I'm still watching Sonic, like, in the boat, right? And he's talking to what's-his-face there, and I'm still like, that's fake. I don't watch T2 and go, that's fake. I watch that and go, holy shit, that's incredible. Like, I know it's CGI, but at the same time, like, yeah, there are times where it looks goofy, but for the most part, it's like, that looks fucking amazing.
But
and that was 92!
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a little bit tougher to pull off of, like, having an anthropomorphic hedgehog sitting in a fishing boat and convincing people it's real. What you doing there? You reloading?
Are you telling me that it's easier to do are you telling me it's easier to do a liquid metal, effectively an alien, than it is to do a hedgehog? Something you could actually base somewhat on reality.
You know what? Yeah, it is actually easier to do that.
Why?
Do you really think about it? Okay. Let's take a scene for example. Let's the security guard at the asylum. Remember, he's getting the cup of coffee. We'll take that scene for example.
Okay.
Okay. So really, all you're doing is you're taking that scene from the floor, and you're just moving it up, and you just have this essentially like this silver blob just like coming out that shines like metal, looks like liquid metal, acts like a liquid metal with a brain kind of thing, which is what they were going for.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like liquid metal. Sonic in a fishing boat. You have no idea what a fucking anthropomorphic hedgehog would look like in a fishing boat, nonetheless a blue hedgehog.
Okay.
So if you're going for stuff that's closer to realism, it's like, well, I mean, Liquid Metal kind of fucking wins there.
You know what I think it is, though? I think it has more to do with, like, the lighting almost never matches. Like, they were super anal about the lighting, the reflections. Like, everything had to match so beautifully.
They did the same thing in Deadpool with Colossus.
And that looked good. Colossus looked good.
Yeah.
So did, what's his name there? Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Juggernaut looked pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Still, obviously, CGI, but
still
a decent job. But I would still posit, sir, that the T-1000, who is essentially a humanoid character, looks better than even Colossus or Juggernaut. And that was fucking 30 years ago. Why is it that something from 30 years ago looks better than something from... When was Deadpool 2? 5 years ago?
Deadpool 2 was a couple of years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I forget the exact year, but...
Regardless,
say
decades have passed, and we've gotten worse. What happened? What happened? Explain that shit. Computers are better now than they were then.
Yes. Okay, you want me to explain this?
Explain it.
Again?
Explain it.
Okay.
Because now we're talking apples and apples. Because now we're talking human and human. We're not talking human and hedgehog. We're talking human and human. Go.
Okay. So with the T-1000, we'll use that same scene that I described earlier, the security guy getting a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it looks like liquid metal. Like if you were to sculpt liquid metal into like the shape of like, you know, the fucking Robert Patrick cop, that's essentially what it would look like. It's shiny. It looks, you know, it has really no like defining features, but you can see like where the face and the eyes and the fucking badge and whatnot, like that makes out. If you were to make that into a liquid metal statue, that's what it would look like.
Mm-hmm.
And bravo to them. Colossus,
Proud we are of all of them.
Yes, and proud we are of all of them.
Sorry, I had to go there.
The little camera in Urban Achievers. Oh yes, that's Mr. Cameron with Mr. Robert Patrick on the set of Terminator 2. Arnold was there as well, but there wasn't enough time for a photo op.
And at this time, he was governor of California. Yes, yes.
Please don't touch that. Anyways, I digress. So now you have, you know, we'll push Juggernaut off to the side for a sec, just because like Colossus was in 2 movies, so we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
So now you have a guy whose skin is metal.
I was gonna say, it's a fair comparison because it is metal and metal again.
It is metal and metal. However, Robert Patrick's was a liquid metal. This was more like metal siding in the sense of like you see the stripes in the skin. You get a little more detailed. Like when he gets knocked down to the ground, like you see it get scuffed up a little bit. Like you see it get dirty. You see like, you know, if you watch like the extras, them like walking around with like this light ball to just be like, oh, okay, so that's what it would look like in this lighting. Okay, let's work with that. They paid attention to detail on that.
And I'm not saying they didn't. I just feel like it still like lacks the weight. Like whenever you see something CGI in modern films, it's obvious it's not there because it lacks weight. Like when there's something practical on set, you can tell that it's there because it has that perceivable weight to it.
I think it also comes down to what is their budget.
I guess.
Like when James Cameron's like, hey, I need X amount of dollars because I want to make this guy walk around and look like he's made of liquid metal. Yeah, okay, here's an extra like $5 million, whatever. Prove to us you can do this.
Right.
Make Terminator. So what you know what happens the next time? Hey guys, I need an extra like $20 million because I want to base this world on like an alien world that's like inhabited with like these blue cat people and whatnot. Dude, here's like $50 million to fucking go.
Yeah.
And he still got screwed out of fucking best director. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, people don't give James Cameron nearly enough credit, in my opinion. He is incredible.
Yeah, he is an incredible director that he knows what he wants.
And he's always pushing things to try to
He's
make his story, but also like technology kind of like go hand in hand to like push everything to the next level, you know?
The way I look at him, he's kind of like Steven Spielberg is more like focused on like the story being told on the screen. James Cameron is more about like you seeing the story playing out.
Yeah, like the experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to see a bunch of people in like rubber cat people costumes. He's like, I want to show that to you. I want you to think that we brought a camera to an alien world, and here it is.
Yeah. I mean, even with Titanic, like he did shit on Titanic that was pretty amazing, you know? Because not for nothing, it's not that easy to make, you know, some of the stuff that he did with Titanic. Like he did a pretty freaking great job. Say what you will about the movie, but like,
my gripe is though, I would not have made that movie. You know, if the studio's like, well, why not? Why can't you make this movie? Everybody already knows the end.
Yeah, I've never understood movies like that where you know, like Pompeii or whatever, where you know the ending. Like, why would you make that movie?
Yeah, it's not like, you know, you're Quentin Tarantino making Inglourious Bastards where like Hitler doesn't kill himself, but somebody else fucking, you know, kicks the shit out of him.
Right. Yeah, I mean, documentaries obviously are one thing, but like to make a feature film about a historical event is a little bit silly in my opinion. Just a little bit.
It really is. Just a little bit.
Yeah. A little bit. Teeny tiny bit.
Bruce! You have teeny types with these movies.
Oh, man.
So, I was actually thinking of this the other day, though. We'll end on this, though. So, the new Elvis movie came out. And the thing I was thinking about was, if you were like hired by a studio to direct a biopic on like a band or an artist, who would it be?
Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl?
Dave Grohl. Hands down.
You don't even want to think about it? Like,
no. Nope, Dave Grohl. Because he's got an incredible story. Maybe Gigi Alin. I'm not a big Gigi Alin fan, but he has a pretty interesting story. And he's actually not he was born like 2 hours north of where I'm at. I just learned the other day. He's got a pretty interesting story, and he's a pretty interesting guy. Very controversial and strange, but I bet that would be a good story to tell. But I mean, I'm a huge Dave Grohl fan, and he's got, I mean, think about now, like, especially the Taylor's passed away. He's gone through like 2 really, really tragic events in his life. Like, you could make a pretty compelling story about Dave. And plus, like, that's even for, okay, just Nirvana and the Foo Fighters. That's even putting aside the stuff he did with like Queens of the Stone Age and Tenacious D and like the Probot, like all the other like side projects that he's done. What?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, he's in Probot. I think the only problem with doing it now would be like people saying, "Oh, you're just trying to cash in on Taylor's death if you're going to include that in the movie." It's like, well,
that's true.
I mean, it's part of the story, but you know, I figure if you do it like, you know, years down the road and whatnot, you know, I think you'd be all right.
Or make it like a multi-part. Make it like a multi-part movie where part 1 doesn't deal with it. Part 1 takes him from like his days in Scream all the way up to like the end of Nirvana, and then part 2 deals with Foo Fighters to present.
You just make it like a miniseries then.
Yeah.
It's a miniseries. That way you got a little bit more time to play with.
Exactly. You can flesh things out a little bit. Because like, not for nothing, I would love to see like the story about like him making that first album. Like there's all kinds of stories about it, of him like literally he recorded that whole first album. The first Foo Fighters album was all him on every instrument. And he would literally like run, he would do the drums, run and play the guitar, and then run and do the bass. And like, he was just like, he was literally burning the candle at both ends with how much work he was doing, just running around recording that album. And he ended up with like 13 or 14 songs and you know, made an album all by himself in the course of like, I want to say it was like a weekend or a week at most. Like, that's fucking crazy. And it's not like they're shitty
Yeah.
songs either. Like, go back and that first album is probably one of my favorite Foo Fighters albums. It's got some of my favorite songs on there: "Alone and Easy Target," "Exhausted," "Weenie Beanie," "Winnebago," like "Big Me."
Yeah. Dude, I'll stick around, man. Like, that's a fucking classic right there.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they still fucking...
Yeah, yeah. Like, and some of the B-sides that came out of that, like "Watershed" and shit, like... I honestly, I really love the early Foo Fighters stuff because of, like, how much heavier it was. The new Foo Fighters stuff, I can't lie, I kind of got out of it a little bit because it got to be kind of the same thing over and over again, you know? It's sort of like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The Red Hot Chili Peppers went through the same thing, where, like, after you've listened to Californication, I feel like you've heard every subsequent Red Hot Chili Peppers album once you've heard Californication, because they all have that same sound. And Foo Fighters suffer from the same thing, where it's like, if you've heard... what was it? I forget. In Your Honor. If you've heard In Your Honor, pretty much everything after that, you've heard every Foo Fighters album. That's just my opinion.
Shit. It's definitely not a bad choice for that, though. I will ask, did you see the concert that they did in Memoriam for Taylor?
I saw pieces of it, but man, it started, like, honestly choking me up. Like, I was watching little clips and I was like, I can't watch this. Like, it still fucking hurts, man. I can't lie. It still really fucking hurts.
The video of Taylor's son playing drums on My Hero, like, that fucking killed me.
Yeah, dude, seriously. Or Dave playing Times Like These and, like, crying in the middle of it. Like, I was like, I can't watch this. Like, I'm gonna fucking cry. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Or them playing with, like, Geddy and Alex. And even them addressing, like, you know, we have a brother who fell as well. It's just like, Neil, like, oh my God, like, this hurt. This is so much, you know, of the feelings, man. Like, because, like, Neil's gone and Taylor's gone, and so you got, like, Rush and Foo Fighters together, and it's just like, oh, man, like, this is crazy. It's awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome, but it's also, like, this really fucking hurts.
Yeah, it really tears at you, man.
It does. It does. Because Neil should still be here, and Taylor should still be here, and it just sucks.
It does, man. Because when I was thinking about that, man, I was thinking, like, all right, you know what? Yeah, maybe, like, a Foo Fighters thing would be cool, but I gotta go Billy Joel.
Oh, good choice.
You really think about it, like, all, like, him just, like, fucking around on the piano when he was a kid, and, like, you know, not paying attention to lessons, and then becoming this famous piano player. You know, him trying to get the concert in Russia off the ground, which he lost money on.
Yeah.
Where that's like, if you see the video of him, like, just screaming at people, like, that's the fucking concert. Like, you know, he's doing, like, some
turn off the lights,
like a song of, let me do my show, for Christ's sake. Like, that's the fucking show.
Yeah, yeah.
So it'd be interesting to kind of, like, go back and just, like, tell those stories about him, like, just writing some of these songs, like, you know, him trying to, like, to kill himself because he cheated on, like, his bandmate with, you know, that bandmate's wife.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just, like, hearing, like, seeing all these stories, him having to go through, like, his daughter's suicide and whatnot, or his daughter's attempted suicide and shit. Like, yeah, that would be fucking powerful as fuck.
Yeah, that's a great choice, man. That is a really great choice.
And of course, I would have. That is a really great choice. However, I would probably make the choice of having Idris Elba playing Billy Joel.
Just don't also make Billy Joel an idiot who doesn't understand puns.
Who is this piano man you speak of? Like, you, Billy, you are the fucking piano man.
Sing us a song. You are the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Did you ever see he did a like a Q&A where he talks about that song, and it's hilarious, and you don't even think about it, but he's like, it's really like the most simple song in the world. The fact that it became a hit is kind of like amazing, because it's literally just like a descending chromatic thing, right, down a major scale, and then it's just a limerick. Da 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 da. Like, that's, and then when he says that way, you're like, oh shit, you're right. Like, it really is pretty simple, but, like, it's amazing at the same time.
Yeah, But I mean, the same could be said of like a whole bunch of other songs. Like, you know, if
True.
you look at interviews with, if you look at like interviews with like Mr. Big, for example, you ask him like, you know, what's your favorite song to play live? And they're like, oh, it's "To Be With You." And like, it's such a simple song to play with. You know, it's got this Paul McCartney kind of bass line, and you know, Paul's doing his thing with the guitar and whatnot. It's really simple to fucking go over. He's like, the fact that it became a hit kind of surprised all of us, though. But they're like, it's such an easy song to play. Shit, yeah, like Mr. Big would be a good one to do too, but
An easy one would be pretty
right.
much any of the Beatles, especially John or Paul. That's sort of like, especially John. Like that's a very cinematic story right there, you know.
Yeah, but it's also like, you know, that story's been told I don't know how many fucking times.
True.
It's like, how many times has, you know, Dave Grohl's story been told? He's got the book out, yeah.
Yeah.
He's involved in like behind the music or something like that. But other than that, man, like it's still kind of a fresh story. You know, Billy Joel, like his story's never really been told that much.
That's true. You know what I would like to see, and this is a pretty deep cut, but like it's a great story, but probably not a lot of people would care about it. But Leadbelly would be a good one.
That would be a good one.
Because he was arrested, you know, and he actually got out of jail at one point because he sang, I think it was like the mayor or somebody, like he sang them a song basically to get out of jail. Like he killed a guy. Yeah. He killed a guy.
Dude, fucking Hugh Laurie covered one of his songs at a show that he did at the Wilbur that I fucking saw.
Oh, really?
He's telling that story. He's like, I just want everybody to think about that. He's in jail for murdering a few people. I think that's what it was, right?
Yeah. He murdered a guy. Yeah.
Yeah. He murdered a guy. He got out of a life sentence by singing a song. Do you know how good of a song that has to be? Seriously. Fucking.
And the only reason I think about that too is because I was just listening to, like, I went to the to Guitar Center because I had to get strings and a string winder and shit because I was recording, and worst fucking timing. I'm in the middle of recording one of my guitars and one of the strings breaks, and I don't have a replacement for this one particular string. So long story short, I went to the Guitar Center, and when I came home, I was putting the new strings on and stuff, and I decided to put a Leadbelly record on. And so then when you started thinking about this, I was like, Leadbelly would be a great story, and a good way to end it too, like if you're gonna do the Leadbelly movie, would be to like show all of the influences, because I mean his influence is still palpable on music. I mean, think about Where Did You Sleep Last Night, that Nirvana cover, right? The famous Nirvana cover, that's a Leadbelly song, you know. Black Betty,
yeah.
Think about Ram Jam, Black Betty, whoa, Black Betty, bam, that's a Leadbelly song. Like there's so much classic Leadbelly that people don't even realize.
Yeah. I mean, shit, like his descendants probably aren't even getting fucking royalties off of that shit.
Yeah. I still chuckle though at that the Big Fat Woman song. Oh, big fat woman with. I love that. I'll play it for you when you come up here because you'll be like, big fat woman. With a meat hanging off the bone. He was unique though because like not only did he play the blues, but he played 12-string. Like that didn't happen very often back then. Mostly because people couldn't fucking afford it.
Well, yeah. But I mean, holy shit, dude! Like that would be a damn good story to tell too, man.
Yeah. Him or Sunhouse would be I mean, any blues artist, Sunhouse, Robert Johnson, any of those guys would be awesome.
Like the dream one, like the two dream ones that I would love to do. Like number one, I would have made Motley Crue's The Dirt into a fucking miniseries, because like if you read The Dirt, you're like, there's no way you can get all of this in like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
No fucking. The other one would probably be Aerosmith, really.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like, well, because I like telling their story of like, you know, the 70s, they rocket up to popularity, and then it's like they start dipping off. They come back in the 80s and the 90s and whatnot. Like, you look at that popularity, and like they're still like in band fights with management. Like, Dude, their first agents, Lieber and Krebs, like they're still getting fucking royalties from all those like early '70s songs.
Really?
Like anytime like Dream On appears on a compilation, apparently they get a cut of it.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that's one nice thing about the modern music biz is that that kind of thing happens far, far less often. A lot of the money now, thankfully, goes more to the, and this is a controversial statement, I realize, but a lot more of the money I would say goes to the artist nowadays than it did back then, simply because like me, you, anybody can record and release a song and put it up somewhere. And yes, Spotify does take a lot of money. A lot of platforms do take a lot of money, but we don't have management. We don't have record companies. When, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot less in between stuff nowadays because it's just not necessary. Yeah. So you have fewer hands in the pot. Yes, there's still people taking money out, but at least now, like, there's fewer hands in the pot.
No, just as well as too. Like back in the day, like, you know, could you make your living off of making albums? Like, you could make more of a living back then than you could now because like they would pay you more. The dollar was worth more and they would pay you more theoretically, and like you would get more going on tour. Now it's like, okay, put your stuff on Spotify, but if not enough people are listening, like nobody's going to approach you about doing a fucking tour.
That's true. Yeah, you kind of have to get like a cult following, sort of, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's why like merch costs so much. Like if you go to a concert now, like when we go see Aerosmith at Fenway, I'm damn sure that like a t-shirt is not going to be less than $50. No way.
Oh yeah. No way. It's going to be at least $50.
Yeah.
And then if you're a fat fuck like me, if you want it like, triple X, oh, sorry, buddy, that's going to be $60.
Yeah.
Like, because apparently Aerosmith has no fat fans, Like, hey, man, all these shirts go up to XL. I'm a triple X. And you're a fan of ours? Like, how? Like, did you eat some fans along the way here?
No.
It's like, shut up, Joe.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that concert. It's going to be bad. I mean, we've been waiting 2 years, man. It's going to be awesome.
We've been waiting 2 years for it, man, but good fucking God, man. It's almost like I think, like, the closer we get to it, like, the worse the anticipation gets, because it's like, it's almost here, it's almost here, it's almost here.
Yeah.
And then the worst is going to be after the show, it's like, shit, it's over? What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. And I've never been to a concert at Fenway, but it should be pretty cool, man. It should be pretty cool.
Should be, man. I mean, they got Extreme opening up for him, which is going to be fucking awesome as fuck.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Indeed, sir.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be a damn good concert.
Hell yeah.
Right. Look, Bruce, you got anything you want to plug before we head out here?
No, not really, man. Nothing yet. How about yourself?
Go watch the concert for Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You got some good cries, some good tunes, man. Fucking go for it. You're not gonna beat that.
Isn't it like 6 hours long? Like the whole show is like 6 hours or something, but
I don't know how long it is, but goddamn, dude, like it's still just still fucking tears at you, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I still can't believe he's gone. I honestly can't.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where I'm just like, holy shit.
Like it was like you're just waking up like a bad dream. You're just like, no,
yeah.
this is gonna be one. It's like this is gonna be a rib. Like this is one of those like phony celebrity deaths. It's like John Lovitz died or blah blah blah, and there he is on like Facebook. Hello, Facebook, I'm still alive. Asshole.
Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, dude, that was a bad week for me. That was kind of a bad week for me because Taylor Hawkins passed away, and then my 15-year relationship went down the tubes. It was just sort of like, fuck, man. It was a crazy week.
Every time I drive down the road, I just want to grab the wheel and just ram it into a goddamn embankment.
New guy's over in the corner.
Here comes Chief's like, oh my god.
Oh man.
All right, so that's going to do it for us this week on Let Us Cast. We will catch you guys. I don't think next week because you said you have something to do or something like that.
Yeah, I've got a tattoo appointment. I'm gonna be getting some new ink, sir.
I made the decision, dude. I'm going to get one at Comic-Con because
Nice.
how fucking great is that? How great is that going to be, man?
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, it's cool. But yeah, I'll tell you off the air what it is, and then when I get it done, I'll do the big reveal on here.
Nice.
But all right, that's going to do it for us this week. We will catch you guys soon down the road. Be nice to each other. The world sucks as it is.
That it does, man.